So week 4 of term 2 is down and I'm moving on to my third vlog. This week we focused more on perspective. I did some gesture studies in my free time and continued studying facial features, but my primary focus was on perspective. I remember enjoying the term 1 perspective course, but I also remember having a hard time wrapping my head around 2-point perspective. For some reason, I seemed to struggle with it. In this example, I couldn't measure the table right, and no matter what I did, the legs wouldn't match up exactly to my guidelines and still looked off. I figured it was because of the perspective itself and that I'd learned to portray this better in term 2. I did make this wonderful view of my living room in 2-point perspective at this time last year. I still struggled with this one, especially with making the windows in 2-point. This is actually my second attempt at it. Moving on to what I did this week, though. I watched the first half of Mark's perspective video, focusing on 3- and 4-point perspectives. It did touch briefly on 5-point as well, but that's a little beyond me right now. Maybe I'll try again another day. I've watched other courses and videos on perspective before, and for some reason, they were always just beyond my grasp of understanding. I'd grab a ruler and straight edge and try to figure out how to make a cube in perspective, and it just didn't translate. Everything looked skewed and warped. This time, though, things just kind of clicked. I started to take my time and really measure out my scenes. Right now, all my examples do seem kind of simple. I feel like I could challenge myself to make more detailed scenes in the future, but these were really a good start. I had a lot of fun working on this one in particular, but I unfortunately forgot to record a time lapse for it. I don't know why it ended up as the DMV, but I do have to renew my license this month, so maybe it's just that that's on my mind. These other examples were just me getting a feel for perspective drawing. The main assignment this week was to draw an imposing structure, and I got a bit carried away making different pieces instead of just one. I did want to try my hand at an interior shot instead and decided to redraw my living room, this time in 3-point perspective. I really like how this one came out. This living room is a little different than the 2-point version, as we've added and changed furniture here. As far as this version goes, I guess it's from my toddler's point of view. To wrap things up now, here's a few of the gesture drawings that I fit in this week. A big thank you to Line of Action for their wonderful website, as always. I'm also throwing in this cute drawing I made of my character Bastion as well. I needed a break from all the perspective that I was drawing, so I drew this cutie in a pop art style. I thought you guys would also appreciate it. I needed the mental break at the time, and this was exactly perfect to refresh my brain. So next week is drawing a character in perspective, following the second half of Mark's video. I gotta admit, I'm a little apprehensive of this one. I can draw lines for days, but organic shapes in 3D space kinda scares me. So, I guess, just kinda wish me luck, guys. So thank you for being here for another video, and I really appreciate your guys' support. I look forward to struggling and learning more next week, so all aboard the struggle bus with me, I guess. Thanks again, and have a great week.